The question is the slope of a line is double of the slope of the another line. So there are two lines, line L1 and line L2. So when we are talking about the slope of line 1, let's say that M1, and the slope of line L2, let's say as M2. What they are saying that line M1 slope, line 1 slope is double, means twice the angle, twice the slope of the second line slope, right? So M1 is equals to twice of M2. So this is the first equation that I am getting from the question. Now what they are saying, if the tangent of the angle between them is 1/3. Now please remember one thing, that let's say if the two lines are parallel lines, first of all, they are not parallel because the slopes are not equal. One is suppose 1, then we can say the another one is twice of that. Like if the slope of one line is 1, then the slope of another line is 2. So they are not parallel lines. So let's say they are even not perpendicular lines, because what they are saying that the tangent of angle between them, So what is the angle the line is, first line is making? Oh, let's say this is the first line that the line is making with the positive x-axis. Let's say that is alpha. And if suppose this is the line which is crossing this line. Okay, so the angle made by the line 2, let's say it's with the positive x-axis beta. Okay, so what they are saying that the tangent of the angle between them, that is equals to 1/3. This is also the second equation that I am getting from the question. Now, please understand it. If we will see this formula, this is formula for tan A minus B. So what is the formula of tan A minus B? Tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B. Okay, so tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B, and it is equals to minus 1/3. Now you know that we can call slope as m. Okay, we represent the slope by m. So m, we can also say it is equals to tan theta, because we know that slope we can represent by m also and by tan theta also. So let's say for the line L1, we have taken the slope as m1. That is equals to tan alpha mt, a or alpha, whatever you want to say. So I'm not taking a and b. So because we have taken the angles as alpha and beta, so let's say alpha, this is beta, this is alpha, and this is beta. So this I am representing by m1. This I am representing by m2 over 1 plus m1 multiply m2. And I am taking everything in modulus because I want the positive value, because in the right hand side, we have the positive value, right? Now, what is m1? It is twice of m2, the first equation. So twice of m2 minus m2 over 1 plus twice of m2 times m2, that is equals to 1/3. Okay. So m2, 2m2 minus m2 is what? It is m2 only, over 1 plus twice of m2 multiply m2 is m2 whole square. That is equals to 1/3. Right? Now, when we will solve it, so when we cross multiply, it's 3m2 is equals to, when we cross multiply, 1 plus 2m2 square. Okay. So up till here, it is, I think, very much clear. Now, let's move up because we don't have the space here. We don't have too much of space. So let's say, moving here. So now the equation, the quadratic equation becomes this, minus 3m2 plus 1 equals to 0. Okay. So by using the factorization, we can solve this equation, finding the value of m2. So it is 2m2 minus m2 plus 1 equals to 0. So let's take this 2m2 common. So it will become this. Now, when I taking this as common, so after middle term splitting or the factorization, you got this equals to 0. So when you put both the brackets equals to 0, so m2 will be 1 and m2 will be half. Okay. Now there are two values of m2 is coming. Now we know the very first equation of the question. What is the first equation that I am getting from the question is that m1 is twice of m2. So if m2 is equals to 1, that m1 is equals to twice of m2, that is 2 multiply 1, which is 2. Okay. So if m2 is equals to half, that m1 is equals to 2 multiply half, which is again 1. Okay. So these are the two values that I'm getting from the question, right? So these